Hey, so we're working on a GM alternator conversion today as I continue to work on the fuel injection. So the bearings on the Lucas alternator had gone bad, and I'll show you in a second. So I've already removed it from this bracket here, and the bolt that goes down through here. I'll show you the new alternator here. So this is the Lucas unit, and you can hear the bearings. Maybe you can pick this up. Oops. You can see the bearings are bad, and then the pulley's wobbly too. So it's out of alignment. So here's the part number I bought. It's an AC Delco. There you go. Got it from Rock Auto. So in preparation for this, what you need to do is take something and measure this distance from here to the end of this spacer, and then transfer that measurement to here. So you have to cut a little bit of this nub off. What I did was I just took a pair of calipers, set them to this distance, and I transferred that over there, so there really wasn't any measuring. I'm just gonna cut it with a hacksaw and clean it up with a file. That will allow that, cutting this little bit off, make sure that your pulley here is in line with the pulleys on the water pump and for the fan as well. So let me get that done and we'll start fitting it up. Okay, so I got the ear cut down to the correct size and then did some work with a hand file to get it all flat. And as far as the hole through here goes, it was much bigger than a 5/16. I ended up drilling it out to a 15/32. And then I found a 15/32 spacer with the 5/16 inner diameter. That fits right in there, nice and tight. And then I will make sure it doesn't wobble when we get it installed on the car. So you do have to do a little bit of fabrication work, but not too difficult. Here's your two connections, numbers 1 and 2, and then that's your positive battery connection there. Okay, as we're wrapping up the alternator install, I made a couple changes. Originally, I had one of these brackets I got off eBay. Didn't like it. Just didn't allow the kind of adjustability I liked, and eventually it's probably just gonna work its way loose. So I bought one of these here on Summit Racing. It's basically just an adjustable bracket. I'll put a link down below the one I bought. The holes that come inside these Heim joints are 3/8. So I happen to have a couple of 3/8 outer diameter to 5/16 inner diameter bushings. I just pressed them in there with my vise, super easy. And then your original 5/16 bolts will fit through there, and it's solid. I've got it torqued up right now, and she's not moving. I'm rocking the whole car right now, and it's solid. So this is super easy to adjust. I can literally just turn this by hand here. I don't know if you probably can't see the alternator moving, but there, and then you can really fine tune your belt tension. So I really like that, and I'll need a longer bolt for here because I want to be able to put a lock washer and nut on the back there, and then I'll probably get a new one for here because that's only in by like 4 or 5 threads, and I'd like to have more than that. I did have to go with a new belt. This is a 13/32, and it's 43.5 inches long. I couldn't find a 3/8 that was the correct length, that was an automotive belt. Everything is for like lawn equipment, and that obviously won't work for a 100 horsepower application or more. So this is the next best thing. You can see it sits a little proud of the pulley, but I've seen other setups like this. I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal, but time will tell. This was actually really difficult to find. I went through a handful of belts, but Napa ended up pulling through in the end. No one else had one that would fit this. So just something to think about if you do this upgrade. If you have the later cars with the 1/2-inch belt, it's probably not a big deal because there's plenty of stuff available in that size. The 3/8 is just harder to find. So I've got the wiring harness pulled apart. So this big brown wire will connect to the positive here. These other two smaller ones go to the number 1 and 2 terminals back here. I should have bought an alternator that was clocked differently with the wire connections either on top here or on the side, but I ordered the wrong one and now I've already hacked this thing up, so I can't return it, but we'll be able to live with it. It's not that big a deal. So yeah, we just need to fix up the wiring. I am gonna run another 8-gauge wire from here, either to the positive terminal on the battery, or you can run it to the starter terminal, or there's also that block over there. I'll probably just run it straight to the battery to start with, and we'll go from there. So that's it for the alternator install. It's pretty straightforward. I would recommend you get Dan Master's electrical handbook. It tells you exactly where those wiring connections will go. It's a fairly straightforward install, except for the fabrication you have to do to the alternator. But if you ever decide to upgrade to the advanced auto wire harness, it's come set up for a GM alternator like this. So something to think about in the future. So anyways, thanks for watching.